Well, what is up, everybody? It's your Verse here today, and we're going to talk about another review site or another game journalist in general who says they talk about Sony's just how they just completely just blacklist certain websites from getting game codes and how their practices are. If you don't give Sony a good score for their newest highly released exclusive titles, they give you a they blacklist you from reviewing their games apparently. So we've seen this before with other websites, Stevivore, how they said they were blacklisted as well. So apparently this guy's saying the same thing. Remember today that we won't have any God of War coverage at launch because Sony PR said they don't like our tone last year. So I stopped requesting copies from them. First time I had ever had that happen in 14 years of working in games media, and it felt real icky. So apparently last year they stopped giving this guy games. He just said he stopped requesting because they didn't like his tones. Pretty much he probably gave one of their highly rated games a medium score or like a terrible score. They like, hey, we're not gonna give you any more games. We're just kind of like, that is such a crappy thing to do from these companies. It's like apparently they only want journalists to kiss these guys' asses at Sony apparently, which is like it's so just ridiculous. But that is Sony for you. Then he made a lot of follow-up claims as well. And he says it's also the reason why we didn't Ratchet and Clank review code back then. PR rep compared us to Cinema Sins, and I was like, all right, no thanks then. Okay. They have a history of blacklisting sites. They blacklist as Survivor because they gave Horizon Forbidden West a 7 out of 10. Then he says, I don't think we're being blacklisted or anything. I just don't want to feel like I'm ever begging for a review code from a company to provide coverage. Also, being compared to Cinema Sins was pretty insulting, especially to you. Okay. Sony intimidates reviewers quite often to ensure some good reviews. I've seen several people speak out against this over the years. Sadly, the people who do speak out delete tweets and videos to get back in Sony's good graces. What are they like? Is something like the mob or something? Like you can't say anything negative about Sony without them like blacklisting you, like or damaging your company. Like that's so just corny right there. Jeez. Review codes are a privilege provided by publishers. It's not a charity. They expect the service even if they don't say it explicitly. Therefore, the moment you accept your analysis of the product, stop being independent. This is clear as the sun in almost every industry but gaming. Sucks to have Sony act that way, but makes you more of a trustworthy source. And I don't like the intermingling of current press reviews and corporations. Okay. Know your worth and refreshing to see people have the moral conviction to stand by their decisions. As an Xbox person, I hope God of War lives up to the hype as an enjoyable for everyone. Okay. Sounds like intimidation that guides you all into reviewing, scoring their games the way they prefer. It does kind of sound like, to be honest. That is sad. They cannot accept critical analysis. They don't want anything. They don't want anybody to say anything negative about their video games at all. Or if you do, you get in the blacklist. Didn't like your tone? What is next? Are they going to complain you gave them a dirty look? I've noticed the pattern. Sony is trying to control everything in the industry. Shocker. I hate that this is a stance you have to take, but also have to give a lot of props. Publishers shouldn't be pushing around or guiding reviewers. I was like, can you even trust most of these reviews about Sony games at this point now? I was like, you know that a lot of these sites can't give them an actual critical score because if you do, Sony's gonna get pissed and blacklist your website. So, I mean, you can't even honestly trust a lot of these scores from Sony games at this point. Like, they gotta walk on eggshells and talk about Sony games apparently when you review their games. When it's like, I don't think no other company is like that. Like, I don't know if Nintendo's even like that. If you give their game a negative score, they're gonna be like, gonna stop sending you copies now. It's kind of ridiculous. I really don't get why people insist Sony doesn't have a sketchy attitude. They're not consumer or press friendly. EA is even more tolerant than Sony nowadays. Sony, my FIFA review was great. Good game could be paid update for previous game owners and the paid customization of the overload. They didn't care about it and now stopped access to the press portal for copies. Okay. Good. These companies need to understand they want a good review. Make us a good game. Don't give us some trash. You think that'd be that simple, right? They make a pretty good game. You can't really say the game was terrible if the game was amazing, but they kind of release some garbage, and it's like you expect a review to tell that what the game is gonna, what the quality of the game is gonna be. You gotta sing Sony's praises. Sony is arranging scores, although they are like the dirty Yakuza of the gaming industry. It's a weird comparison, but okay. Uh, Another journalist blacklisted for not sabotaging their integrity. Wish more gaming journalists would do this. Almost 10 years of reviewing Xbox games and never experienced anything like this. It's just disgusting. Sony is always trying to manipulate the review scores. Dictator prefers media blackouts. Sony uses first-party position to put pressure on other companies. This is the most reprehensible behavior in fair trade and competition. They're like the mafia and cartels. Establish control through intimidation. Okay. The cat is off the hat for Sony. I can't just lament they have been doing these and other predatory practice for over 25 years. Yeah, this is definitely kind of wild. This is why it's hard to trust this company. Outlet is generally excited about some games. If your boss says it would be great if you could work this weekend, you don't have to, but it's highly recommended if you want to keep your job. Definitely very manipulative at this point. A reminder that PlayStation will blackball outlets that don't speak highly of their games. PlayStation knows that the outlets that don't have access to games will miss out on valuable embargo time with reviews dropping. It's a well-known practice that continues to this day. How is nobody? How is the CMA not investigating that? How did not have a problem with this? Something that you can't give their games really critical reviews, or you can get blacklisted. Like how CMA, which is a big topic right now, the CMA, how are they not investigating that though? But you know, I bet if more reviewers decline a free review copy, we'll start getting honest reviews. For things like game, the cost and platforms available should definitely impact the review scores. Okay. Sony and PlayStation, can you guys figure this and work with them? This is just the petty and pathetic. What tone are you referring to? Do you find the middle of the road company too spicy? A slow grow pair and grow up. Okay. People are pretty much saying the same thing at this point. Like Sony is just being ridiculous with their tactics of just being so controlling over review scores at this point. It's like it is kind of ridiculous because there's so many different game companies that you can review their stuff, and they're not this like I don't know, just controlative about their opinions about their games. I don't know. But we've seen it time and time again. If you review their games critically, they release some trash games, you said their games are trash, then you're going to get pretty much blacklisted. So that's how Sony rolls at this point. And no one has a problem with it. It's like a lot of these other websites just don't have a problem with it, apparently. They will just bend to Sony's will and give them good scores, even if the game might not be that great. So you definitely got to look at Sony games with a side eye of some of the review scores, because they might just be in fear of being blacklisted to give the game a good score anyway. So, but I'm going to include it right here. It's just shocking that another person has came out and stated that, hey, Sony's acting a little bit fishy with how they're giving out review codes because apparently we were somewhat critical of the game at one point, and now they stopped sending us codes. So it's kind of sad that these journalists got to go through this nonsense. But you know, that's Sony for you. But definitely want to see your thoughts down below. Leave a like if you like this video, and as always, thanks for watching, and peace.